Okay, so today we have a Battle of the Little Wings race at Summit Peak. I am driving an F4 car. This is part of week 13, and the races are unranked, but they're turning out to be a ton of fun, even if they're a little bit chaotic. This race actually was relatively clean for the first half, and that's all I'm really going to be showing because the race ended early for me, spoiler. But up until that point, there was some decent racing. Um, so I'm going to be mostly quiet through this. I'm just kind of enjoying the show. I did qualify rather horribly for this race. I am way back on the grid. I actually spun out on my out lap before the final turn, so I didn't have much speed through the opening straight, which on the first qualifying lap was like a second off. And then my second qualifying lap, I was off track and the lap was invalidated. Um, and I guess the only other thing worth noting is that there's a new track every day with this, so I really only had 20 minutes practice before I started racing. I did get a decent launch on this one. I've been struggling with my starts a lot, finding those are the hardest parts of the race with all the chaos, and then I've been getting off the line poorly, but realized I need to actually be off the clutch enough so it's almost to its bite point. That helps a lot. Minor chaos in turn one. Only a couple cars went off, which is good. Everybody's still pretty bunched up. Nothing too insane. More carnage to avoid and a tap on the rear through most of the chaos safe. A little bit more chaos there. One thing I have been playing with lately is adjusting my brake balance, and I've been noticing that can make quite a difference. I'm not to the point where I'm adjusting it for individual corners yet, but on this, I have got my brake balance uh, kind of in the middle, so I've got a 12 position rotary dial for it. And for this track, I was running with it on 5, so more towards the rear, kind of in the middle. While I was in it, battling with car number 5 for a decent amount of this race. There were sections where they were faster than me, specifically the last corner, which made a big difference with the opening straight. And then I was faster through some of the tighter stuff, which made it fun. Four cars, definitely way more work, but also way more fun to drive than both the V and the Ray. Let's see how our lap time's looking so far. So first lap 124 minutes to start. Second lap was a 111.6. When I've got a clear track, I actually want to be down in the 109s, higher 109s, or low 110s. I'm happy with. Of course, there's not a whole lot of clear track in this, and having to back off at certain points, dodge other cars going off track. Lap 3 came in at a 112.263. So this final corner is one where I'm definitely losing time. And I think I'm cutting in too early and need to actually go in a little bit deeper before I turn in. I haven't had a chance to try that out. And honestly, I don't know that I'm going to, since this was a 1 day race kind of thing. 4 was a 110.6. That's okay. Coming up on the section that I really like and tend to make up a lot of ground. Got kind of a blind left here, then hard braking, another left, quick on the gas and into third ever so briefly, then back hard on the brakes, down to second, and then on the gas again. And when it's clear, this is just flat out through this whole little section, which is a ton of fun. A lot of feedback from the wheel. I was noticing that I was definitely overheating my left tires quite a bit, which need to be a little bit smoother through there. This 0.5 has gotten past me. Definitely have some learning to do as far as taking more defensive lines, but really I'm just trying to have some clean races. Passing will come. 9 might have been, or 5 might have been my best lap. I clocked in at a 109.891. And then this was my race. Spun out into the fence, lost the rear wing, and then, like a jackass, got high centered and had to call a tow. At that point, with these short races, that is game over.